about you guys making up your own minds. As long as you win the people, do what you want. As long as you win the people. When it comes to election, yes, of course we can organise things a whole lot better. But this is you taking your sovereignty for a walk and saying, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get a sandwich board and stand in the middle of the civic and just on my own. And so we can do that too. Okay? Decide for yourselves, guys, because this is important. Yes, we have to organise. Yes, we have a strategy. Yes, we have to follow the direction I got it to be a cohesive, coherent group. I get it. But right now, that's not the objective. The objective is for all of us to stand up on our own two hind legs and say, here I am. This is me. This is what I want to do. Okay?
Last 5 minutes I've been holding this up and I wasn't even recording.
Please, decide for yourself what, if anything, you want to do. I think that's a great idea. I really do. It's fantastic. But make sure the way you do it, the method, wins the people. It's got to win the people. And angry faces don't win the people. It's genuine questions. Why are you not speaking about babies that are being killed? The baby's being killed. I spoke to a woman, and this is the sort of information you get when you speak to people. I spoke to a woman whose father runs a funeral parlour, and she said, you know how many COVID deaths we've had? 0. But we've had a lot of suicides. The suicides are through the roof. That's all right. Breakfast. Alright, so if you want to do it, guys, this is it. Gather, get those like-minded people around you, and you're going to find 100 this have people follow you. It's tough. It's tough. Anyway, yes, next.
Hi, Megan from Canberra. I'm the toilet lady. I just wanted to clarify for tomorrow. It's congregate here up where we were last Saturday, so this truck will be up there. But we start the march at 9. At 10, because that gives us an hour to get over to the lawn at Parliament House to start the speeches and the music at 11. So there was just a bit of confusion there, because as you can imagine, these events get organised in a very short time frame. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that.
And there are other events that have subsequently been organised, because you heard about the 29th of March Bolton Flag they tried last week. Last week at the rally they said, come back on the 29th. Yeah. And so for those who haven't heard, what happened was there's a bunch of people, they're connected with Palmer, Kelly and the rest of them. I'll give you their names because they've made this public statement. Palmer, Kelly, David Needs, a guy called Tricky out of Brisbane. Come back on the 29th, come back on the 29th. And I said, why do they want that? Well, they have a bunch of legislation ready to go, the parliamentarians, including trusted digital ID to track everything you do. They want to pass all this legislation, so by the time the 29th comes, it doesn't matter. Damage is done. So anybody tells you to come back later, turn and walk away. These guys are either paid up corrupt individuals or they're so stupid they don't know what they're doing. Now, they weren't going to come back this Saturday. So they said come back on the 29th. When they heard that we were going to come back this Saturday, all of a sudden in record time they put out posters for marches. So there are other marches being planned from other start points. This is just one, not ours. It is just a march. It is the People's March. And across the park at Lennox Park over there's another group starting off at 10 o'clock as well. Now they won't know the story. They're going to think, oh no, this is all one happy kumbaya organisation, but it's not. They are arranged by Reignite Democracy and the pedophile protectors. But they're going to pretend that we are the splitters and we're the problem. We're not. They are. Alright, so understand this. And this is maturity is required here, folks. Maturity. It's not kindergarten where everybody gets a seat at the table. And they will pull your seat from underneath you as they've been doing to us all week. Okay? Not nice people. Okay, here's with the mic. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, everyone. I'm from Canberra. I have two questions that kind of tie into one another. I'm not quite sure if you kind of would know, but one, I would like to know who are the organisers of this event, or began it, or who is doing it now, so I can coordinate with them and other people can, because I don't know who they are. And two, I was wondering, since everyone has Epic and the biggest part of this movement is everybody coming here together. Now all the people that were staying at Epic, where are they now? And I think that we need to find a place to pool everyone's resources, somewhere, because we're scattered everywhere. And I don't know one person, I don't have much money, but I can do lots of things if I turn my mind to it. And I was wondering if, Riccardo, you know where people are staying. I have a whole lot of supplies, so if we find a base camp, like I really do, and I can resource a lot more. I have a little bit of money, but that's about it. But yeah, so I think they tie into each other with the organisers. And yeah, so anyone can give me any sort of information on that would be great.
Okay, just so, hang on before we clap. They have been actively disrupting the people at Camp Epic, intentionally. People have gone out to lead convoys into Canberra and they've driven off into a park and left them there for hours in the middle of the night, just abandoned them. This is not a time for naivety and childish wishful thinking, folks. A single point of distribution is a single point of failure. Does that make sense? You are working with people who want to kill you. They want to kill your kids, and these people are actually disrupting the entire organisation. That's why I calmly sit here and say, folks, Clive Palmer, Craig Kelly, Reignite Democracy, they're either crooked or are stupid. But they are actively destroying everything we are doing. So if you have a single point of distribution for resources, I'll guarantee you he's going to take it over, and it won't get anywhere near the people. There are several, where did the Camp Epic people gone? They've gone everywhere. Okay? And that's fine. Once again, this is lumpy, this is dynamic, this is fluid. If we had a single point of contact, the loudest mouth wins, not the most rational. And up at Camp Epic this week, we had the unedifying sight of this communist from Chile, and that's not an insult, she was, it was this communist from Chile, who was in the ears of the Fed poll the whole time. And she grabbed the microphone and she made sure nobody got to speak unless she wanted them to. And actually turned the microphone off herself and Dave Graham. And I had to jig the crowd up and say, do you want to hear Dave? And they went, yay! And she said, this is what you're dealing with. So don't think you're dealing with anybody else. You're not. These people will literally leave you in a park at 11 o'clock at night, women and children, 15, 20 cars, and abandon you. These are not nice people. The only people I trust are A1 and David Graham. Now David is setting up a new location, and as soon as we get the dates, the location are that you can go out there and camp. There are other camps that are set up, and some are set up like gulags, and others are set up for vulnerable people only. But if you're male, you don't get in. So if Dad turns up with family, oh, you can't come in, but your wife and kids can. Really? Alarm bells start going off. Please understand, you can't trust anybody. Nobody. Don't trust anybody.
I thought you said through a few days ago via email, Riccardo's still good. You said through there was a break with Murray Bateman and that sort of.
I didn't send that through.
A1 did. A1 sent through.
Who did? Sarah did? Okay, that was just a list, that's not
That wasn't, that was just people were asking of anywhere that we knew, so I just sent a list through of here's some sites. We're not associated with any of them.
Okay, so that hadn't been checked out.
No, and I said that, yeah. No, that it's because people kept coming to me saying, we need to know campsites. So those sites were given to me by some A1 supporters, but we are not associated with any of them.
And be aware that people say, I'm an A1 supporter and you should go here. Because apparently we've been accused of collecting money up at Camp Epic. We don't collect cash at all, but A1 has been accused of collecting cash, A1 has been accused of, A1 has been accused of. Trust no one. Even someone in this group right now who says, let's not this gentleman over here about the ABC, it's a great idea, but wants to see how you do it. Let's undo this. And he'll lead you astray, and then he'll get you doing something illegal, and the coppers will be there to arrest you. A1 charges the barricades. Folks, time to go. I'm not being rude, but if you think you can trust anybody here, you're wrong. You can't. If it stinks, it stinks. Hang on. Please don't shout, madam. Madam, please don't shout. Be patient, Richard. Be patient, Richard. Everyone here's got a question, madam. I'm sure yours is vitally important. If you shout again, I'll ask you to stop it. Please. Okay. Sarah, if you're going to wander around and
hello, Riccardo, everyone here. I'm Jennifer from WA. I'm a little confused because when you said we get 1 million people, we win, we came with that intention from WA and we can't go back until we do win. But we don't have the resources to wait several months like you're now suggesting. So like when you said on the Irish talk that you had 6 lines of defence and only one that you could talk with us,
Yeah.
are those 5 still other lines behind the scenes still on?
Yes.
And how long do you envisage for us that we're going to
If you need
to
to go, you go. It's
we can't
okay.
go because we're not going to be we're not unvaccinated, we can't get across our border. So there are several of us from WA that can't go home. And I thought that you said several times in your talk, we'd get 1 million people. Have I misread that the 2.8 wasn't enough, or was it 1 million people for A1? Is it, do you need the 1 million people for A1, or do you need...
I understand your confusion. I apologise if it's caused you some distress now because you can't go back. I get that. We got in excess of 2 million people last Saturday, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't enough to shift it. It just wasn't.
Okay.
Okay. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
If we got 1 million in East Capital City, who knows? But we didn't get enough last Saturday. But we stay till we win. Now, if you're in a position where you cannot, because you haven't the resources to stay and you can't go back, and I get that.
Yeah.
But there are ways back across the border. Not all the borders are manned. They're not.
Okay.
They're not all manned. And you might, please don't. Not all the borders are manned, but you're going to have to figure out how you do it according to your own resources. If you can stay, great. If you can't, you go home. There are some people who go home because they live close by, and they're back on Saturday. That's fantastic. There are some that come down from a long way, and they've got to get back to their horses and their animals that they've left, and that's fine too. We do what we can according to our abilities. Now, if you're stuck here, then we need to find a way. You need to find a way how to get back home. So you can do your own plan.
Look, we're following to the end of the end.
Yeah.
With what you're saying and what you're...
Look, I'm here too, until we...
It's just, we can probably support ourselves for, 3 months, but I don't know, 6 months when the election comes, and if that doesn't work, then we're stuck here. We're just like, we've come because we thought 1 million people were going to do it, so... And I'm thinking, have I read that wrong? Was it 1 million to stand, or was it 1 million for A1 to stand? Do you understand?
When I said it, I actually meant 1 million for A1.
Yeah.
Because 1 million A1 people are on the same side.
Yeah.
1 million that drift in because that's a good thing to do, that's a different question. But the fact is you've got a real practical problem. This could be over in a few weeks, it could be over in a month or 2. We don't know. We just don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you still have the 5 other lines?
Yeah, they're still working.
Still working behind the scenes?
Still working behind the scenes. There are things going on behind the scenes. It's not just this, and we are not alone. That's the one, 2 things take away. This is not the only thing we're doing, and we are not alone.
Thank you so much. Very much appreciated.
My name's Obi and I'm from Melbourne. So this is a follow-on from the original question, the first question we had in the Q&A session. When you said the best case scenario is that the Governor General dissolves Parliament, and the worst case scenario is that you get 1 member in there. So I just have a question regarding that. So if the Governor General is appointed by the UN and the Federal Parliament is also selected by the UN, and wouldn't you think that the probability of him dissolving Parliament is next to 0?
Yes.
And the second one is, even if you were to get one seat, which is also very unlikely, what makes you think that you would be able to sway the federal policy with 1 seat? Like we have, 1 or 2 senators in there that actually try to, every now and then try to create policies that are in favor of the people, but because most of the system is corrupt, like majority of it, and it's working on majority consensus, because most of the system is corrupt, what makes you think that getting 1 seat is going to change anything? So with those 2 things in mind, the most likely probability is that the election will have very little impact on who's actually sitting in Parliament right now. And if that is the case, what do you propose that we do?